Hi, it is Danny back again for VEDA Day 5. Okay, so I have been laying low in like a strange space, and I had a plan for today's video, but I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm not in the mood, my brain's not very focused. I've kind of been in my head and in my feelings, just thinking about, I guess, the next phase of my life. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason, and you are exactly where you're supposed to be, have gone through what you're supposed to go through. Like, I'm a firm believer in, I guess, fate, destiny, what have you, which can be changed, but for the most part, I don't know. So, that being said, um, I'm really trying to, you know, I'm really trying to figure out what serves my life and what doesn't, and I'm categorically getting rid of like things that have not served my life and trying to truly excommunicate it out of my life so that I can make room for the things that I want. And I know I've mentioned it so many times that one of the things that I want is, companionship. I'm very single. And I know I talk about that a lot. And, I was thinking about the channel in and of itself and how much I talk about my age and my job and my singleness, and also the bastard that I've been trying to get rid of for the past 7 months. Um, and I want to stop talking about those things because, talk doesn't necessarily mean action. Now, there are certain things that I have done to take action with things that I don't like, but yeah, more work needs to be done. More work, less talk is what I guess I'm getting at. So I was watching How I Met Your Mother, which I tend to do when I'm feeling kind of like, feeling kind of drab and not as optimistic. Um, and I think it's a brilliant show. I mean, it has its many problems. I mean, you know, the first couple of seasons were really amazing, and then, you know, in a lot of ways, in terms of character development, Ted really broke after the whole Cell thing, and he wasn't really the same. And to me, maybe it's the writing, or maybe it is pretty much what happens to people that when they go through a devastating loss, like him getting left at the altar, it just really breaks you, and it takes you a very long time to get back to yourself, and you don't even really get back to yourself. You take fragments of who you were before the incident happens, and then you take the fragments of the broken pieces of what happened, and then you try to mesh it together. And I guess that's kind of like a metaphor for where I'm at, and I guess that's why I'm watching this show, because, you know, I'm gonna get a little personal, but ultimately, I mentioned before I got out of like a 7-year relationship, or it ended in like 2012 is when it ended, and I had no idea how much that situation really changed me. And, I would say like a couple of months ago, I would have said the situation broke me. And it did. And a break doesn't necessarily mean that it's non-functional. Just break means that what you were has dramatically changed or shifted to the point where it's not the same anymore. And when I left my ex, I anticipated being the girl I was before we got together, and that was impossible because as bad as the relationship was or was getting, it helped me so much. It made me grow up so much. It matured me so much and saved me in so many ways, but it just wasn't going to work. We weren't growing together anymore. So I had to go. But when I went, I thought I would just get younger 22-year-old Danny back, and that wasn't going to happen. And instead of really sitting down with how 22-year-old Danny is not here anymore, you're 30, I got involved with somebody who saw, again, I am an optimistic person. I want to believe in the best in people, but the more I analyze how this other person got into my life, the more I realize he saw me as a mark and he was just scoping me out. And not to say that I'm a victim, but, and I wasn't. I actively chose to let him back into my life, to continue to see him, despite my instincts saying, no, 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 no. My sister saying, everyone was saying, no, Danny, no, no, absolutely not. Bad idea, bad idea, bad idea. Everyone said, there was like red lights and alerts everywhere. And I just didn't want to listen because I missed the partnership that I had with my ex. I missed sharing my life with somebody, and I thought just because this person was showing me interest, then that meant that he was as good as the man I just left, and that was not the case. And I honestly needed to go through all that because I had to know that there are bad men out there. I know that's so childish to say, as you know, at my age, but I've been really lucky. Every man or guy that I dated or liked or had a crush on or what have you that has been in my life since I started dating were nice guys. I mean, they did mean things sometimes. They were a little rough, or they disappointed me, failed me, angered me, made me sad, but they were still good people, and it never occurred to them to take advantage of me in any way. And this guy was the polar opposite of anyone I've ever liked or ever dated. He took plumb advantage, and he broke me down. And I honestly believe that sometimes you have to be broken down to your barest form, where there's like no pride, no ego left, so that you could really deal with what it is, who you are, and just slowly build yourself up. So as I'm not even angry with him. I was. And when I think about everything I could be, because he really used me, he lied to me, he did a bunch of things that I'm not going to go into a list. I mean, if you go through some of my videos and piece it all together, it's there. But I'm actually grateful, because I think all of this I know all of this is preparation for what's next. And I'm excited to know what's next, because it was such a great lesson. And so back to How I Met Your Mother. And he says it, Ted says it throughout the show, especially after Stella left him at the altar. It's all leading to his wife. It's all leading to where he wants to be, how happy he is for however long she was alive. So I am really looking forward to it. And, you know, I'm getting a little sick and tired of repeatedly talking about my singlehood, and I guess I'm in my head about it again. And this is a long video, and I didn't want it to be that long. I was going to make it short and lazy. But yeah, I guess I just wanted to ramble. So, How I Met Your Mother, why I'm single right now, why I'm grateful to be single right now, ramble, and it is what it is. I know there's good things in the future. I just absolutely know it. And you don't really know how tough you are and how brave you are and just how much you can endure until you meet a challenge. And I tell you, the last year and 2 months or 1 month was a challenge that I will learn from and take forward and know what to look for. But I mean, basic food for thought. Your instincts say no, 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 bad idea, bad person. Listen to your instincts. That's the main lesson you should get from this entire video. But I'm not trying to make a 10-minute video, so I'm gonna go. Have a wonderful night, and this is me signing off for VEDA Day 5. See you tomorrow.